Welcome, everyone, to this explainer. If you are sitting there dreaming of starting your very first creative business, but you're honestly a little paralyzed by all the headlines about artificial intelligence taking over the world, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to walk through a strategic survival guide for new creators. We are going straight to the source material to uncover exactly how to build a business that algorithms and code simply cannot touch. I am so excited to guide you through this, so let's just jump right in. So we really need to start with this massive question. Is your creative business actually AI-proof? Seriously, it's the absolutely crucial question you have to ask yourself if you're launching your very first venture today. Because as we look at the rapid advancements in artificial intelligence, it's totally reshaping what works and what doesn't for independent makers. But as you'll see, this is definitely not a reason to panic. It's actually this incredible opportunity to pivot into something truly uncopyable. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at the AI threat, then we'll cover 5 AI-proof handmade ideas. From there, we'll explore why your story matters most, how to build your brand identity, and finally, how to find your specific aesthetic. Let's get started.
All right, Section 1, the AI threat to creators and the vulnerability of digital goods. See, the digital space is really where AI thrives right now. If you were thinking about selling Canva templates or maybe generic print-on-demand art, well, those are getting hit the hardest. They can be incredibly easily taken over and mass-produced by AI in seconds. But you know what? This flood of AI is actually causing people to crave the exact things that a computer cannot make. Physical, tactile, one-of-a-kind handmade goods. These tangible items act as your ultimate shield against the tech. In business terms, this is what we call your moat.
Moving right along to Section 2, AI-proof handmade business ideas and establishing your physical moat.
These aren't just random for fun hobbies either. They are viable, low-cost businesses that you can literally start today on your kitchen table. We've got polymer clay sculptures like tiny food wearables, which only take about $15 in materials to start. Then there's reworked upcycled clothing, mixed media art using foraged nature, hand-poured concrete decor like little ring dishes, and beautifully hand-bound journals. You guys, a computer program cannot physically mold clay, it can't pour concrete or stitch a custom journal together. It is completely physically impossible for AI to replicate these.
So here's the absolute crucial takeaway. Non-uniformity is your moat. Why are these ideas so wildly powerful? Because mass production requires standardized materials. Every piece of fabric coming into a giant factory has to be exactly the same. But when you're working with scrap fabrics from a thrift bin or vintage scarves or beach stones and sea glass that you've ethically forged yourself, your materials are already completely one of a kind. That lack of uniformity gives you a natural competitive advantage that simply cannot be programmed.
Which brings us to Section 3, why your story matters most, upgrading from a moat to a megaphone.
Because here's the thing, making a good physical product is only half the battle. If you just make a product and throw it online, you risk becoming a commodity. You become just one of a million other handmade shops competing solely on who has the lowest price. And nobody wants that. But a brand is a story. It's the reason a total stranger casually scrolling past your work suddenly stops dead in their tracks. If the handmade physical product is your moat, then storytelling is your megaphone. It is exactly how small creators actually connect with their target audience and build the trust required to make a sale.
Let me show you the most extreme proof of this. $1 billion. That was the valuation back in 2024 of a company called Liquid Death. And do you know what they sell? Literal water in a black can. Seriously, it sells at totally premium prices because the branding does absolutely all the heavy lifting. They have this crazy death metal skull aesthetic, a tagline that says "murder your thirst," and this whole anti-corporate punk vibe. People are paying for the story, not the water. This just proves that a compelling story can elevate even the most basic physical item.
Remember this, the place is the story. Buyers don't generally pay high prices for generic art, but they will absolutely pay a premium because the piece came from a specific place that actually matters to them. Think about wildflowers pressed from a Vermont meadow or driftwood gathered from Lake Superior, or the absolute highest ticket version of this, preserving a bride's actual wedding bouquet into a custom resin botanical. Look, AI cannot hike to a specific beach to collect sand for a custom piece. Only you can do that. That deep, personal connection is exactly what your audience is buying.
Okay, let's jump to Section 4. Building your brand identity, the smart way to use AI.
Now, I know there's a little bit of irony here. We're talking all about building an AI-proof business, but now we're looking at using AI. But here is the key distinction. You don't use AI to create the product you sell because that won't last. Instead, you use AI as your branding assistant. The source material highlights platforms like Design.com that can build your whole brand identity for a fraction of the cost of hiring a professional agency. It handles all that business identity stuff, saving you thousands of dollars, so you can actually spend your time hand-making the art.
Let's break down how accessible this is for a complete beginner. It's really just 3 simple steps. First, you just type in your business name and a few plain English keywords describing your vibe. Second, the AI generates original professional logos that are completely commercially safe to use. And third, it automatically syncs all your brand colors and fonts across your business cards, your packaging, your social posts, the whole shebang. You don't need any design or tech skills to do this. It ensures everything feels super congruent and professional right out of the gate.
And finally, Section 5. Finding your specific aesthetic to really stand out in the handmade crowd.
Compare a generic approach like just making polymer clay food to something highly specific. If you make generic food, well, the market is competitive. But what if you make miniature dim sum because you grew up eating it? Or tiny mid-century cocktails? The secret to success here is taking something universally loved, like polymer jewelry, and shrinking it down into a highly specific category. Niching down is exactly what makes your specific aesthetic literally impossible for others to easily copy.
So, to put it simply, you've got to pick your vibe. If you're making upcycled clothing, what is the aesthetic that is uniquely yours? Are you super into cottagecore? Or maybe your audience really connects with grunge, dark academia, or a cool 90s revival work style using old denim. Defining this visual style is exactly what creates that brand megaphone we talked about earlier. When your aesthetic uniquely connects with your specific target audience, getting those sales becomes so much easier.
Due to the very nature of handmade goods, small batches are just the natural economic outcome. And you know what? That is your absolute superpower. Right now, everyone is zigging towards digital mass production. The smartest thing you can possibly do as a new creator is Zach. Go all in on small, one-of-a-kind physical batches. That is exactly why physical crafts are going to win big in the long run.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. What is the version that's uniquely yours? You know that physical, handmade products are your moat against AI. You know that a specific, authentic story is your megaphone to actually reach your audience. So, what specific aesthetic, what unique materials, and what personal story are you going to bring to the table? The opportunity is wide open for those willing to make something real. I really hope this explainer gave you the clarity and the push you need to start building. Thanks so much for joining me.